Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to live coverage of the second weekend of racing here in the 2020 Battery Tender Mazda Global MX5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich. We are high above the front straightaway here in the Pagoda at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we are watching a full field of Global MX5 Cup cars being brought out onto pit lane. We're all ready to race 2 of the day, round 4 of the season, and boy, was there a lot of excitement in race number 1 earlier today. Unfortunately, some of the excitement has been tampered after career first win for Gresham Wagner and Spark Performance has been officially rescinded. Unfortunately, due to a post-race technical inspection infraction, more specifically coming in light at the scale line, Gresham Wagner, driver of the number 5 for Spark Performance, has had his career first victory in Global MX5 Cup racing taken away. He will be credited with a 19th place finish in the third round of this 2020 season, and he will try to make up for those lost points here in round number 4, the second race of the day. Just so you know, Gresham will come from 8th place on the starting grid when we throw the green flag on this one. Race 1 this morning saw 2 pace laps to allow drivers a little bit of extra time to put heat in those BF Goodrich racing tires and warm up the Paget brakes. I don't know if they're going to get a second lap here. It's much warmer here in Indianapolis this weekend. More specifically, we are in the quaint little town of Speedway, Indiana, a suburb of downtown Indianapolis. Michael Carter stood on the podium earlier this morning in round number 3. He will lead the field with the green flag here today in round number 4. Robert Noaker entered the weekend as the championship point leader. The young man from the state of Pennsylvania rolls off on the outside of row number 1. Jared Thomas, the scholarship shootout winner, quickest and farthest rookie up the field. Your scholarship shootout winner starts third with Celine Roland, who finished second and will in fact be credited with first place points after his teammate was disqualified following this morning's race. Celine starts 4th. Nico Rieger, the 2018 Series champion, will take his Slipstream Performance number 01 from 5th on the starting grid. Robert Stout, who I incorrectly earlier credited with just a missing his brake point going down into turn 1 while racing for a top 5 with Todd Lamb. Actually, turns out it was a pair of front wheel bearings going out on his white racing machine that caused the brake pads to back out farther and farther from the rotor. That was the issue for Robert in the first race today. Stout will rebound with a fresh pair of wheel bearings and hopefully better brakes underneath him. He starts 6th. His teammate at White Racing, Matt Dirks, rolls off 7th. Gresham Wagner, the guy who was the first to cross the finish line but will be scored 19th this morning, this afternoon in race number 2. He will start 8th. Todd Lamb rolls off in 9th. His teammate, Atlanta Speedworks' Peter Enzer, starts 10th. The field makes their way down the long front straightaway. There you see Chief Starter Aaron Likens giving them the 1-to-go signal as Gail Truess shuts off the lights aboard the Mazda MX5 Cup Series pace car. We said Peter Enzer rounds out your top 10 starting order here. Jackson Robillard will roll 11th. Alex Bashura starts 12th. Zach Lee starts 13th. Justin Piscatel and John Giesbray start 15th. Brandon Collins is 16th. Luke Oxner 17th. Brian Hickson rolls off 18th. Liam Snyder 19th. And should be seeing Brandon White rolling off with Kevin Conway there at the back of the field. I'm not positive Kevin's here this weekend. Oh, no, he is. He is. He took time. So Kevin will start 20th. Brandon White will start 21st. Folks, we're glad you're with us. Unfortunately, no fans here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as has been the case for a very large portion of what has been a very peculiar 2020. But boy, it is nice to be back at the racetrack, to settle in, and to take in a little bit of racing for just a little while. Like we said, Road to Indy Racing is here with us. They've been running Indy Pro 2000 as well as USF 2000, but now it's time to go with another 45-minute throwdown here. Round 4, the 2020 Battery Tender Global MX5 Cup. You hear race control right next door telling the safety car to get away. The field will pack up and pair up as they prepare to see the green flag for the 4th round of the 2020 season. Michael Carter starts on the pole with Robert Noaker, the championship point leader who dominated Road America, starting in 2nd. Jared Thomas rolls 3rd. Roland 4th. Rieger 5th. Robert Stout 6th. Matt Dirk 7th. Gresham Wagner 8th. Lamb and Enzer complete your top 10, folks. We're getting ready to wrap things up here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But first, 45 minutes of wheel-to-wheel door-to-door racing coming up here in MX5 Cup. The field makes their way off of the oval through the right-hander, turn 12. They'll set up for the final two corners, 13, and then that long right-hander, turn 14, before they make their way through an empty canyon of grandstands, waiting to see the green flag flying. And when it does, 45 minutes of racing will be underway. Carter on the inside, Noaker on the outside. They snake out of turn 14, side by side onto the front stretch. The back part of the pack starting to break out already. Green flag flies, and we're racing at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They are side by side, the front three rows, door handle to door handle. They head down the straightaway. They're going to get on the brakes, turn one. They are almost four wide, a little bit farther back in the pack, but Carter keeps everybody behind him, and Jared Thomas is going to move up from P3 to P2 using that inside line, just as he did earlier this morning. So move Thomas from P3 up to P2, and now Robert Noaker finds himself in a Spark Performance sandwich. He's got Wagner on the outside, Roland on the inside. They roll out of four, down the short chute. They'll head for the chicane. Noaker's just trying to sort himself out as the leaders make their way down Holman Boulevard. Michael Carter leads them, and then it's going to be scholarship shootout winner Jared Thomas right behind in second. They'll get on the brakes hard here at the end of Holman Boulevard into turn number 7. Man, Jared Thomas learned so much in the start of race number 1 earlier today. He knows that he has got to stay right on the back bumper of whoever is in front of him. There you see Gresham Wagner getting around Robert Noaker. So Noaker, the big loser on the start of this one here in round number 4, as he is going to go from second back to 5th when they come around to complete the opening lap here. Drivers coming out of turn 11, now back onto the oval, getting ready to dive back into the infield. Drivers fanning out too wide, a little bit farther back. That looks like battles for about 8th, 9th, and 10th. They snake out of 12. They'll make the left-hander into 13, now the right-hander 14. One lap in the books, and oh, so much great racing left to go as Michael Carter makes the most of his pole position inside front row starting spot. He leads them down to complete lap number 1 here the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Jared Thomas slots in second. Roland and Wagner for Spark Performance run 3rd and 4th. Then it's Robert Noaker in P5. Good look right there down that long front straightaway. This is from the 4th turn on the oval circuit here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Farther back, little side-by-side racing. Everybody keeping it clean, though, down into turn 1. Was speaking to Robert Stout in between the two races. That's when he informed me that no, it wasn't him just missing the braking point heading into turn 1. It was a pair of front wheel bearings that went bad on him as the race wore on into the later stages. And, he brought up, he said, I think everybody is really kind of nursing brakes here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway when you have that long front straightaway and then you got to get all the way down to speed for turn 1. Several guys, Robert talked about, were breaking their braking point for turn 1 150, 250 feet earlier as the race got later and later in the lap count. Side by side, that's Robert Noaker down on the inside and Robert Stout. It's a pair of Roberts going door to door here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. No, that's not Noaker. That is going to be Robert Stout and Nico Rieger. Apologies. I beg your forgiveness as it's Nico Rieger and Robert Stout, the Slipstream Performance Rieger and the White Racing Robert Stout cars. Man, those things look really similar. I think someone should have to put a big splotch of orange on one of those white cars. Farther on back, you see the Atlanta Speedworks drivers. That looks like Todd Lamb and Peter Enzer getting involved in some side-by-side racing. Todd Lamb got out of the first race earlier today with the Battery Tender Hard Charger Award. Lamb started the race in 9th position and was fighting inside the top 5 when the checkers flew. So Lamb got out of Speedway with the first Hard Charger Award of the day. We'll see who can do it here in race number 2 on this beautiful Friday afternoon in Speedway, Indiana. Field streaks across the yard of bricks, heading for turn 1. Was going to give you a little bit of Indianapolis Motor Speedway trivia, but we don't need to do that. Not yet, not right now. We'll get to it. Celine Roland purple, that time by minute 41.103. He's your quickest car on the track, and it's with help from his teammate Gresham Wagner. And you got to believe that Gresham Wagner is driving, staring through a very thick red mist in front of him. To have your first victory in your Road to 24 MX5 Cup career removed due to a technical inspection fraction, that's never going to be a good deal, but he is going to be able to rebound here in race number 2 of the day. He's got the opportunity to go back, score the win, get some points back, and make the most out of a up and down second weekend of racing here in 2020. The front 4 starting to close in on each other. A little bit more. Michael Carter said he planned on making this race not very exciting when he told me he wanted to drive away from the rest of the field like Gresham did in round 3 earlier this morning. Carter can do it. Carter can definitely do that. I was proven wrong earlier today, but I'll say this. Jared Thomas, the driver in that 96, I apologize, only driver to claim residency here in the state of Indiana. So this does, of course, make the Indianapolis Motor Speedway weekend his home race. Thomas is going to do everything he can to stay right on the back bumper of Michael Carter, who is up front right now in that 08 car. Third and fourth, Spark Performance drivers, Celine Roland and Gresham Wagner. Robert Noaker rounds out your top 5. Robert Stout scored in 6th. Matt Dirk 7th. Nico Rieger 8th. Justin Piscatel for Maverick is in 9th. And Todd Lamb actually bumped up to 9th this time by Todd Lamb getting around Piscatel. Watch out, Jared Thomas, because you've got Celine Roland coming up quick behind you. This is definitely a hot seat moment for the rookie Jared Thomas, because he's got to focus on Michael Carter, because if Carter, drops a tire, makes a mistake, which is unlikely, but if he should make one, Thomas is right there, okay, so he can go for it. He has got to focus on Carter right now, but he's in the hot seat because he's got Celine Roland and Gresham Wagner right behind him from Spark Performance, and if you're Jared Thomas, you're trying to focus on two ends of the racetrack at the same time. What's going on in front of you, just over the hood of your race car, but also what's going on behind those rear taillights of that number 96. He has got to hit his marks and be perfect right now because he and Carter are not getting away. Those two team cars from Carter Racing Enterprise were trying to do what the two team cars from Spark Performance are doing, and that's go faster together. And Celine Roland and Gresham Wagner have done that. Now the fastest lap belongs to Matt Dirks for White Racing, 1:40.970. The number 76 goes purple on your timing charts if you're watching at home right now. Field makes their way through turn 12, now out of 13. They'll set up for the right-hander. Turn 14. This could be an opportunity for Celine Roland and Gresham Wagner to overtake the Carter Racing Enterprise cars at the front of the field. They exit 14. They'll make the run down the front straightaway. You'll notice, if you're watching, the cars are much higher up the front straightaway this race than they were in round number 3 earlier this morning. Every time Gresham Wagner exited 14, he hung tight to that pit wall. Celine Roland pulls out for just a moment to take a look, says hi, doesn't think about it for too long, gets back in line, taking a look at Jared Thomas. And while Celine wants to do that, to get a little bit of cool air on the front nose of his car, which very well may end up being an issue for Jared Thomas here if he stays behind Michael Carter for much longer. Teams were reporting overheating issues in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin at Road America. And today, it's not as hot as it was in Wisconsin during the first 2 rounds. It's warm here in Speedway, and there's a little bit of humidity in the air. But there you see Thomas pulling out of the draft. He's got to get a little bit of cool air on the front nose and through the radiator and into that number 96 if he doesn't want to risk overheating. The other big thing that drivers are having to deal with here with these new sequential gearboxes that have been introduced here in 2020, which at Road America I very foolishly stated were paddle shifters behind the steering wheel. No, it's still a traditional lever down next to the driver that he'll grab with his right hand, but it's a sequential gearbox bumping first, second, third, fourth, fifth. You don't have the H pattern where you could go from fourth down to second. I don't think that would be a wise idea. But the funny and kind of interesting issue with this new sequential gearbox, it's a metal gear shift handle right on top of that metal transmission and all the linkage. Drivers are actually getting blisters on their right hands because that metal gear shift is heating up so much during the course of these 45-minute races. Todd Lamb and Peter Enzer both showed me in the garage area after race 1 earlier today. They took off their right driving glove and had decent quarter-sized, if not larger, blisters. Now, Celine Roland looking to the inside in turn 1. Jared Thomas is left in the middle. Roland wants to go at 2 for the price of 1, and he's going to do it. Roland from 3rd up to 1st, but Michael Carter says not so quick. They go door handle to door handle, but Roland keeps his foot in the gas, and now Thomas is going to try to dirt track it through turns 3 and 4 to stay alive. Gresham Wagner goes door to door with Jared Thomas, but Celine Roland is your new race leader. Michael Carter will smell exhaust pipe for the first time today. Wow. So Roland set that pass up, coming down the front straightaway, looked to the inside of Jared Thomas, and Roland thought, you know what, why not go 2 for the price of 1, and that's exactly what he did. Celine Roland defends heading down Holman Boulevard into turn 7. Boy, Carter is going to do absolutely everything to come right back on Roland, I think, very early. If you're Carter, you've got to stay there. But also, if you're Carter, you've got to stay between Celine Roland, your leader, and his teammate, Gresham Wagner, right behind him. Because if those two hook up together, you know that team owner Nathaniel Sparks is going to be on the radio calmly telling those guys, work together, drive away, and let's get away from the field. Full course yellow being called by race control now, as it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like it's the voice of race control, Jim Swintel, giving the command to the pace car to pull out and catch the lead pack. So they're gonna call Celine Roland to go to pace car speed. Sounds like the number 48 of Zach Lee is the cause of our full course yellow here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, as we had just completed. We were working lap number 6 at that time. So not sure where Lee is on course. Taking a look, peeking here inside race control to try to find out exactly where the 48 is. There he is, right there in turn 1. So Lee sitting, facing oncoming traffic, just on driver's left-hand side. Obviously a position that race control couldn't afford to leave Zach Lee in. So the right call to throw that full course and go send safety to retrieve the number 48 from McCumbee McAleer. Boy, just when things were getting a little spicy, a little muy caliente out there on track, they are going to throw a full course yellow. Sounds like they're going to review the incident between the 48 and the other driver involved. 48 and the 98. Oh, no, that's McCumbee McAleer Racing teammates. That's not good. That's Zach Lee and his McCumbee McAleer teammate Jackson Robillard. You hate when teammates get together. That will make the ride home awkward. So it sounds like the McCumbee McAleer cars of Robillard and Zach Lee. What would Calvin Fish say? A little bit of argy-bargy, I say, down in turn 1. And Lee coming out on the short end of that stick. Yellow flag, bad for Zach Lee. Good for us, though, because it's going to group everybody back up and give us a restart here, I imagine. Not this time by, but perhaps the next time by. So as Gail Truess brings the field around to see another lap, this will put lap number 7 in the book. Clock continues to count down here with 12 minutes elapsed. 32, just under 33 minutes remain here. Great move by Celine Roland at the end of that front straightaway to go on the inside of Jared Thomas and pick up both Thomas and Carter. So Roland, that was a 2-position swing right there when Celine went from 3rd up to P1. Very aggressive move. When you've got 2 lengths of cars in front of you, you have to really deepen your braking to make sure that you get slowed up, but also that you beat those guys to the apex. You beat those guys down to the corner. And no doubt, Carter was looking in his side view mirrors and saw what Roland was going for. And all these drivers are smart. I think that's the thing to remember. You know, nobody here wants to throw big, scary blocks. Nobody wants to wreck and get taken out. Because had Carter thrown a big block right there, Celine was committed. That's the thing you got to understand. Celine was committed, and by virtue of Jared Thomas being right behind Carter, it's not like Celine could get Thomas and then slide up into the middle of that pack. No. When Thomas got past, Celine knew what he was doing. He was going for 2 cars, or he just got really lucky. But Michael Carter was smart. He didn't throw some big, huge block. You know, it's living to race another lap, living to see another day. And that's exactly what Michael Carter did. And, you know, who knows? However this race resumes once we restart, Carter could go up there and race for the lead, maybe score the win. He could get out of here with another podium. He finished 3rd just a few hours ago in round 3 this morning. Regardless, Carter made a good decision. Celine made an awesome move. That was super sexy what he did down in turn 1, picking up 2 for the price of 1. I dig that, and I dig Michael Carter's ability to be smart and to keep everything in front of him and not get over aggressive. Gail Truess in the MX5 Cup safety car is going to get away from the pack here, and we'll be coming back around to see the green flag here to start lap number 9. Timer shows just over 30 minutes to go. We will honestly probably see the green flag right at 30 minutes remaining here, which means you better buckle up because we're about to throw the green flag here with all these drivers stacked up once again. So we're going to get a chance to see one of these rare single-file restarts here in MX5 Cup Racing. I vote you stack them up 2x2 again and just throw them down into turn one side by side, but I'll submit that into the suggestion box later that no one reads. We're going to go single-file, though, this time by right at 30 minutes to go. Pace car getting away, and that lead pack is trying to catch up to Gail Truas in the safety car, but she'll hit pit lane. Celine Roland will bring them back to the green flag with 30 minutes exactly to go here on the clock. Green flag waves. We're racing here in MX5 Cup at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The field comes back out of 14, back onto the front straightaway. Celine Roland runs right in the middle of the track. He is going to make Michael Carter work very hard for it. If Carter wants to take the pass back away down in turn number one, Carter shades out to the outside just to take a look, get a little bit of air on that nose. Roland's going to defend down to the inside. Carter hangs tough on the outside. Is he going to try the over-under? No. Everybody single file back in line as they get through turn one. Now the left-hander, turn two, right-hander, turn three, that spills you into a second, a little bit of a later apex. Right-hander, turn number four. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all running nose to tail here. Now the chicane, the quick left-right complex that puts you out onto Holman Boulevard. Oh, no, it sounds like a drive-through penalty for the 98 of Jackson Robillard. So incident responsibility being found on the number 98. That was what brought out the full course yellow. Zach Lee, his teammate, unfortunately, you hate to see it, was the receiving end of the incident. And I didn't see it. I'm sure Race Control obviously has reviewed it, and they have found that Jackson made maybe not the best move. And so he is going to, I believe, get a drive-through or a stop and go? So they're going to drive him through, and that is going to effectively put an end to his race and the chance to get up there and fight for a top 10 as he was doing in round 3 earlier this morning. Our attention turns back to the front of the pack now. Inside of 30 minutes to go, they'll complete lap number 9, start the 10th circuit around the Grand Prix circuit, just under 2.5 miles here inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a fast, but boy, is it a flat racetrack here inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The only time these drivers see any banking or any change in elevation or attitude of the car is when they come up on the oval out of the road course onto the front straightaway. They're on the oval turn 1 for just a moment. Boy, who's that swinging out way wide, setting up for turn number 1? This could be a monster move through the infield. That's Robert Noaker battling between Gresham Wagner. Wagner currently in third, Noaker in fourth, Jared Thomas in P5. Roland kicks a little bit of dust up as he comes out of turn number 2, rolling through turn 3. There you go. Sounds like the 98 has done his drive-through penalty, so he will resume racing here in round number 4 of the 2020 season. Now Noaker back to the inside as they exit the chicane, but that means that the next corner is the left-hander, turn number 7, so Wagner will get the benefit of being on the inside. Oh, but Thomas wants to go even lower. Jared Thomas makes it 3 wide, down into the inside in turn number 7. Can they all make it? Oh, my goodness, yes, they do. Oh, no, they don't. Noaker's going to mow the lawn here. In between turns 7 and 8, Noaker runs way wide and is going to cut turn number 8. We will find out what happens as he went 4 wheels off to the inside of the curbing. Kyle Novak and his staff and in Race Control are going to take a look at that and obviously make a call. What will be the deciding factor is if he was put there or if he went there on his own accord. Wow, that really breaks things up right there, as now you see Celine Roland and Michael Carter. Roland driving for Spark Performance, Michael driving for Carter Racing Enterprises. Got to get that right. Now there's a decent gap. Look at that. You split both team cars up. You've got Roland and Carter, Spark Performance, Carter Racing Enterprises, and then now a ways behind them, you've got Wagner and Jared Thomas. Again, Spark Performance, Carter Racing Enterprises. Isn't it funny how things like that work out sometimes? Field coming down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Noaker trying to make up for lost time already. Noaker look into the inside. Can't make anything happen in there. That looked like perhaps Luke Oxner that he was trying to get around. Piscatel, I apologize. Yeah, Justin Piscatel for Maverick, so apologies there as Noaker trying to get back to where he was. Rieger and Stout going side by side through the chicane, spitting him out onto Holman Boulevard. Well, Rieger and and Stout, man, those guys are going at it here in both of those white wrapped cars. Roll on. Now it's going to be Gresham Wagner. A little bit of brake smoke out of the 96 of Jared Thomas. Jared Thomas gets on the binders just a little too late and a little too hard, and he's going to lose 2 positions. Well, he's really only going to lose 1 position, although he was up there battling with Gresham Wagner. That's going to allow Todd Lamb to get back around. Todd Lamb now to the inside of Gresham Wagner, heading into 11. Lamb is there. Lamb is going to get the spot. So move Todd Lamb from 5th to 4th, now up to 3rd. Todd Lamb completes the provisional podium as they run right now with 25 minutes still on the clock here in round 4 of the 2020 Battery Tender Mazda Global MX5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich Racing Tires. Celine Roland brings him around to complete another lap here. Michael Carter right behind him. Todd Lamb up to 3rd. Gresham Wagner has got to work with Todd Lamb here if they want a shot at reeling in Celine Roland and Michael Carter. That would be the race for the lead, the race for the win. Now Carter taking a look down to the inside, down the front straightaway. Carter is there, and I don't think there's going to be much of a battle in the corner. Carter makes quick work of Celine Roland, new race leader. It's the 08 from Carter Racing Enterprises. Michael Carter takes over that top spot. So Celine Roland drops back to 2nd place. One slow car rolling out of turn 1 into the left-hander, turn number 2, working on finding out who that is. Those two have swapped position at the top now. Todd Lamb in 3rd, Gresham Wagner 4th, Jared Thomas 5th. And then it's the pair of white cars right behind. Shows Nico Rieger scored in 6th currently, Robert Stout 7th, Enzer 8th, Dirks 9th, Luke Oxner completes the top 10 as things are staying exciting here in round 4. Roland lost the lead just about a half a lap ago when Carter made a really good move coming out of the draft down the front straightaway, pulled up alongside Celine Roland, and I think to the same credit that I gave Carter early in the race when Celine Roland made that big dive bomb on both Carter and Jared Thomas, I said, Carter was smart. He wasn't going to throw a big block. He wasn't going to take Roland out. He wasn't going to risk taking himself out. Same credit goes to Celine Roland. Roland knew what Carter was doing. I mean, Carter telegraphed that move halfway down the front straightaway. Celine knew what was going on. Roland could have squeezed Carter all the way down heading into the turn, but that's not clean. That's not fair. And these two guys respect each other a lot. I joke about how much they found each other last season in 2019, but I think Celine was really heads up right there, played that smart, said, you know what, Carter, you're quicker than me right now, go for it. If you want to lead, go ahead. And I think it's a benefit for Carter. He gets a little bit of cool air inside the radiator on the nose of that car, and they continue to race. Farther back, I'd say that's probably 11th. No, that's not even 11th. That's probably 8th, 9th, 10th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 9th, 10th, 11th. That's a good log jam right there. I think that's Robert Noacre trying to stay alive. Looking for Noacre on the scoring monitor right now. I apologize. Has he disappeared? Yeah, we have, for some reason, we've lost Robert Noacre in our lifetime in scoring. We're gonna reset and refresh right there really quick, find out if we can't find, because that sure looks like Noacre's black and white car, and it is. Possibly transponder issues. There he is. Popped back up in 9th position. Just when you think you know what the problem is, the transponder goes, no, that's not actually the problem. Jared Thomas and Nico Rieger side by side through the S. A little 7 and 8, 9 action. Close dicing for position right there. Rieger's going to get around Jared Thomas, and that moves Rieger from 6th up to 5th. Rieger returning to MX5 Cup Racing after scoring that 2018 championship. Went off and did LMP3 racing in the IMSA Prototype Challenge, and is back this year to try to make some money, try to win the MX5 Cup, man. ND2 championship, $200,000. We talked about it in round 3 this morning. $200,000 going to the ND2 champion here in 2020. Mazda stepping up big time to support not just local racing and national grassroots racing, but they're supporting the drivers and the teams that partake in it. Gresham Wagner now has to deal with Nico Rieger as they head for turn number 1. Rieger looking to the high side. Rieger's feeling himself right now, folks. He already got around Jared Thomas. Thomas wants to take a look for the inside just for a moment. Stays where he's at. Rieger definitely likes how Slipstream Performance and the guys set that car up. He is working really hard to get back around Gresham Wagner. That would be for 4th position. And with 20 minutes still to go in this race, I do not think Rieger, you can't count them out for a podium. There's your top two right there heading down Tolman Boulevard, okay? So it is Michael Carter and Celine Roland. There they are. Carter in front, Roland in second. Lamb's on an island by himself. And then you've got Wagner running way down on the bottom trying to keep Nico Rieger behind him. They'll head for the left-hander, turn number 7. You know, the tighter that Wagner runs his entry, meaning the lower he runs down the racetrack before heading into a corner, yes, that takes away the opportunity for a pass going into the corner. But physics tell us that if you don't arc your entry, you are not going to keep momentum up. If he has to run way down there by the corner, he's going to take away an inside passing opportunity, but he's going to hurt himself on corner exit speed. So if Gresham keeps running down there, yeah, nobody's going to get him on corner entry, but he better be careful because the momentum in these MX5 Cup cars is key, and he could be leaving himself very susceptible to a corner exit pass. And here at Indianapolis, you have some fast-flowing corners. You have some really tight technical stuff. You've got those S's and you've got long straightaways. This track has a little bit of everything, and Gresham is a smart driver. He knows what he's doing, but he's got to be careful because he might open himself up to a corner exit passing opportunity as Nico Rieger looks high and looks low. Lap after lap. Now inside of 20 minutes to go here, and there you see that red car of Wagner way down to the inside, and Rieger's no dummy. He knows what Wagner's doing. If Wagner only makes one move, you know, it's okay, it's legal. So Rieger's going to start swinging out wide. He's really going to try to arc his corner as big as he can to get that exit shot and that big run out of the corner. And that's unfortunately the battle that you get into here in middle of the pack racing. One guy knows he's got to keep you behind him. The other guy's going to do everything he can. Wagner's going to draw his line in the sand, and it's going to be right down there on the inside of the corner. And there you go. Rieger's going to pull out, and now he's going to get help from Jared Thomas. They're going to look to the high side. Can they get the pass done before turn number 7? Here they go with drafting help. Nico Rieger's going to walk right around the outside of Gresham Wagner, but unfortunately, Jared Thomas cannot come along for the ride, so move Nico Rieger up a spot to 4th place. And they're slipping and sliding all over the place. Wagner trying to go high, now go low. He can't get it done. And he is just burning up those BF Goodriches. Now he's going to allow Thomas to look to the inside, heading into 11. Thomas way down on the curbing. Thomas is there. Thomas is through. Move Jared Thomas up to the 5th position. Gresham Wagner continues to backslide through the field now. Nico Rieger up to 4th. Todd Lamb in 3rd. Michael Carter still your leader, and Celine Roland in 2nd place. Wagner trying back on the inside of Jared Thomas through 13. That would be the pass for probably the 5th position now. They continue to run side by side. Wagner's around. Contact is made. Wagner goes for a spin. He collects another car. They tag the outside retaining wall on the oval. And Gresham Wagner bit off just a bit more than he could chew this lap when he was trying to keep everybody behind him. And you hate to see it. Wagner drove the perfect race in round 3 this morning, and I don't know. You know, I don't want to get in the head of the drivers. I don't want to tell you what I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I think Wagner was just going for a little too much here with still over 15 minutes to go, and you hate to see it because Wagner has driven so well today, but he goes around, collected another car, waiting to find out exactly who the other driver involved in that incident was. And this really calms things down at the front of the pack right now as Todd Lamb is caught up to Celine Roland and Michael Carter. Calms things down. Let me take that back. Todd Lamb makes it a 3-way battle at the very front of the pack. These drivers aren't just fighting to figure out who will stand on the podium. They're fighting to figure out where they will stand on the podium. Celine Roland brings them out of turn number 10, now to 11. They'll come back on the oval, race control, reviewing the incident. We'll find out the drivers involved, the 96 and the 5. So the 96 of Thomas and the 5 of Gresham Wagner. So it sounds like race control is going to review that incident because it was when Wagner in the 5 and the 96 of Thomas were battling side by side that the contact happened, which resulted in Wagner going for the spin through the grass right before they got to turn 14, and he ended up tagging that outside retaining safer barrier on the oval, turn 1 here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So incident under review currently between scholarship shootout winner Jared Thomas and Gresham Wagner. So we'll wait to hear what race control's decision is on that. How has it affected things in the running order? Well, Todd Lamb is reeled in the top two. You see them right there, Roland, Carter, and Lamb, your top three, as they come out of turns 4, and they'll head for 5 and 6 right now. Then a ways behind them is 4th place Nico Rieger. Here you see Rieger coming down Holman Boulevard, and Robert Nowaker has reclaimed the 5th position. And it sounds like the official word from race control regarding the incident between Jared Thomas and Gresham Wagner is that the 96 of Jared Thomas has been given a drive-through penalty. So race control is going to drive Thomas through, again, effectively pulling him out of contention for a top 5 or even a top 10 in this one. He will have to hit pit road, bump into that pit road speed limiter gear, and unfortunately, that number 96, who looked so strong at Road America, got out of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin with a podium, was looking good in round 3 earlier today, unfortunately will not have as good of a result. Meanwhile, change in position in the front pack, 2nd place, Todd Lamb and Michael Carter. They just keep trading it back and forth. Who wants 2nd? I don't want it. You have it. No, you take it. Todd Lamb, Michael Carter, door handle to door handle, going down the front straightaway. Who's going to give when they get to turn number 1? Neither one of them seem to want the spot. Let's see who ends up with it. They head down. Celine Roland's looking at his mirrors saying, you guys keep going for it. Lamb has the inside line, but Carter wants to try to outbreak him on the high side, but the inside is the right side here at Indianapolis, and Todd Lamb takes over 2nd position. Man, Carter is just throwing that thing around. I think he's been watching some dirt track videos here in Indiana because he is just throwing the back end of that 08 all around the place. Still over 10 minutes to go. And Carter is not letting Lamb get away. This is close racing, and behind them looks like a battle for 4th place as Robert Nowaker, the championship point leader, is going to go top shelf on the 2018 series champion, Nico Rieger. How will they sort themselves out before they get to turn 7? Don't even worry about it. Nowaker says hi, then says bye as he drives right around the 16-year-old from Pennsylvania. So now, your top 3 looks a little bit different. Celine Roland, the former Mazda dealership employee turned salesman, salesman turned racer, leads the way, but Todd Lamb says, hey, let me look down here at turn 12. No, that's 11. They're coming out of 11, heading to turn 12. Lamb wants to make something happen for the race lead. And when we cut to it, we will see exactly how that has sorted themselves out. Lamb's the leader. New race leader, Atlanta Speedworks, the young man, Todd Lamb, taking the point in this one, coming down to see 12 minutes to go. Celine Roland will breathe exhaust pipe here as they come up the front straightaway. Michael Carter in 3rd. And it is Todd Lamb who leads. But for how long? Because now Celine Roland pulls back to the inside. He's got Michael Carter lined up right behind him. Once rivals, now turned friends as they try to take the top spot back. Todd Lamb says, you guys go ahead and have it. I'm going to tuck right back in line. He is going to try to run right behind Carter and make something happen when they get into the infield. Lamb made a Superman move coming through turn 11. He saw the opportunity. Roland left a half of a car length on the inside, and Todd Lamb said, you know what? I think my car will fit there, and you know what? It did. He went right to the inside of Celine Roland. He took over the top spot, and he led at the start-finish line. He's now back in 3rd. Carter in 2nd. Roland is your race leader. Nowaker 4th. Nico Rieger in the 5th position. Last time by, Enzer scored in the 6th position. Oxner in the number 77 scored in P7. I love it when a plan comes together. Matt Dirks is in 8th. Alex Bashir in 9th. John Cheesebray is 10th. Brian Hickson 11th. Piscatel 12th. Colin Stout and Jared Thomas round out your top 15. Folks, can Todd Lamb show the young kids how to do it? Text your vote now to the MX5 Cup hotline if you think Todd Lamb can score the victory. We'll show you the results some other time. Todd Lamb, 3rd place after taking the lead in this corner 1 lap ago. Michael Carter now in 2nd. They're all chasing. Celine Roland and that number 87 for Spark Performance. Roland kind of carrying the banner now for Nathaniel Sparks and his new team, Spark Performance, after Gresham Wagner's disqualification earlier today in round number 3. Then Wagner getting taken out just a few laps ago after contact with Jared Thomas. So Sparky's hopes ride with the Orlando, Florida driver, Celine Roland, aboard that number 87. They come down to see another lap in the books. Still over 10 minutes to go. Let's see who's pulling out to make a move here. Looks like Todd Lamb and Michael Carter both look to the top side. I think they're getting a little bit of air on their noses. And Lamb wants to go around the high side on Carter for second spot. He's on the high side, but in turn 2, he's on the inside. Todd Lamb now back to P2. Michael Carter into third. Celine Roland is your leader. We want to thank Matt Cleary for texting the MX5 Cup hotline for saying he thinks Todd Lamb will win. We don't know if you win anything yet, Matt, but we appreciate your patronage and your support, continued support of MX5 Cup racing. So what just happened was Todd Lamb went to the high side in turn 1, went around Carter, and then when they got to turn 2, boom, he's on the inside. Now Lamb's going to look to the inside in turn 7 for the lead. Lamb to the inside, and he's through. Todd Lamb takes the top spot back over from Celine Roland. I'll tell you what do we call him? The seasoned driver? He is showing the younger guys how to do it here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Todd Lamb walking the dog right now through the infield here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Celine Roland will watch the blue and yellow bumper of the 84 lead him back on the oval. But Roland sees a look to the inside heading back into turn 12. Does he take it? No. He stays in line. Carter in third. Meanwhile, Robert Noaker sawing some logs as he's able to get from 5th with Nico Rieger 4th, and he has pulled away. He's chopping major wood right now. 5th is still Rieger. 6th is Enzer. Luke Oxner, 7th. Matt Dirks, 8th. Alex Bashura, 9th. John Giesbray in 10th. Apologies for that. Little technical difficulties as I've wrapped my mic cord around myself, I feel like. But anyway, leaders still Todd Lamb. You never know what it's like to call a race when you got to bend over to keep from breaking your mic cord. But that's what we got going on as we are nearing the end of this one. Now inside of 9 minutes to go. Boy, it would be something if Todd Lamb, who scored the battery tender hard charger in round 3 this morning, could get out of Indianapolis with a victory. But he has got 2 of our series' best and brightest stars in Celine Roland and Michael Carter, who are going to make it very difficult on Lamb. We were doing some math in Wisconsin trying to figure out exactly how old Todd is. No one knows exactly. His car number is 84. He's not that old, but he is a little bit older than Celine Roland and Michael Carter. Everybody's a little bit older than Robert Noaker. We talked between the race at Road America where we competed the first 2 rounds, and now here at Speedway, Robert Noaker actually passed his driver's test, and now he is licensed to drive on U.S. roads. So that's really neat. He's been racing and winning on the track with MX5 Cup now for over 2 years, and even though he may or may not get there in time for a chance to race the 3 guys for the podium, he is doing a great job, Noaker that is, running right there in 4th place, nailing really good lap times, consistently pulling away from Nico Rieger and doing his best to reel in the cars in front of him. Now Lamb begins to drive a little defensively because he knows that he's got Celine Roland. Roland pulls out to the high side. Lamb's got to be smart here if they all want to live through the corner. You see Roland's number 87 just get a little squirrely as he begins to apply brake pressure and downshift in that number 87. Fliss Performance, the constructors of these MX5 Cup cars, have done such a phenomenal job at making these cars so equal. Roland says, our cars are so equal, let me take a turn at leading this thing as he looks to the inside of Todd Lamb, but Todd Lamb says no as he brings him back to the chicane down Holman Boulevard. He's your leader. And you know what? I think I'm going to be eating my words here in just a moment. You know, we said, too bad for Noaker. He's not going to fight for a podium, had that dominant weekend in Wisconsin. I think we see another lap like this where Todd Lamb keeps getting challenged by Celine Roland and Michael Carter. You see him right there. He's in the frame. He's clearly in the shot. Robert Noaker in the number 13, the 16-year-old, is ready to fight these guys and make a battle for not just where everyone will stand on the podium, but more importantly, who will stand on the podium. MX5 Cup, we know drama. Noaker starting to reel in the leaders here as we're coming down to see where they're probably going to see 6 minutes to go when they get to the line, timing and scoring, getting ready to do the math to let you know how many laps are left in this one. They're lapping in the minute 42-second range here. And if you can tell me when the white flag will be, you're much better at math than I am. Todd Lamb brings him out of 14, down the front straightaway. Celine Roland snakes with him from the high side of the track, down to the inside pit wall. What is Roland thinking? And it will be, man, I love timing and scoring. It's like they can hear me. 3 laps to go next time by as Roland takes over the top spot from Todd Lamb. So we work 4 laps to go now, 3 to go at the line. And I'll tell you something, pay attention to Celine Roland's car, folks, the number 87. Every time he gets on the brakes in turn 1 these last 2 laps, the back end of that car has started dancing. Not a lot, just a little. I'm not saying anything's wrong. Maybe Roland's just trying to push his braking point a tick later than he's used to. But I'm telling you, I've seen it twice now. As Todd Lamb pulls out to the inside going down Holman Boulevard, he'll head for turn number 7. Who will be the leader when they get to the other side? Lamb wants to keep it down to the inside, and that's exactly where he's going to park that number 84. But Roland's going to get the inside advantage now in the right-hander. Roland is going to have the advantage. He goes back to the front. Todd Lamb in second, Carter in third. And guess who's there right on cue as they come to see 3 laps remaining. Your championship point leader, number 13, Robert Noacre, joins this 3-car battle to make it a 4-way fight, not just for the race lead, not just for the podium, but for the win here at Indianapolis. Todd Lamb down to the inside in turn 12. Lamb is there. Roland's going to try to defend, but Lamb's going to carry the momentum into the left-hander, turn number 13. New leader once again, the number 84, Atlanta Speedworks, Todd Lamb. Now back to the front. They'll come down to see 3 laps remaining, but at 2.5 miles per lap, folks, that is a lot of racing left to go. Carter with a big run out of turn 14 down the front straightaway. Let's see what he can do here with Celine Roland. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're 3 wide. Lamb's going to tuck back in behind Roland. Carter's not going to get there in time, so Roland picks up the top spot. This is the kind of racing we are used to seeing in MX5 Cup. I'll tell you what, folks, if you're wearing a corded headset, don't spin yourself around in your chair. You will get tangled. And Robert Noacre has entangled himself into this podium fight. How about segues? We've got him, as now Noacre goes from 4th up to 3rd, and the top 2 are not slowing down at all. Todd Lamb, 50 years old. We've confirmed it, and he is going wheel to wheel with Celine Roland. And Roland takes over the top spot, holds on to the lead, rather, as they come into the S's. Sparky told us, setting up both Celine and Gresham Wagner's cars, that these S's were the biggest challenge when it came to finding a balance in the car for the drivers to get back on the power and continue to accelerate as they make their way back to that long front straightaway where so much time can be made or lost depending on who your drafting partner is. Folks, we got ourselves a good old-fashioned barn burner as we come down to 2 laps to go. These drivers are about to get elbows up here as we fight to determine the winner and the podium finishers in the 4th round of the Battery Tender Global MX5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich. Celine Roland leads him out of turn 14. Todd Lamb in 2nd. Robert Noacre in 3rd. And Michael Carter in 4th. They'll see the sticks this time by as they will complete 24 laps here with 2 laps remaining. They come down the front straightaway. Now it looks like Todd Lamb going out to the top side. He's going to get drafting help. Roland starts to ease back up to set up for the corner. Can Lamb get it done on the high side? He's done it once already on Michael Carter. No. Roland holds on to the top spot as he stays at home down on the bottom heading through turn 1. They snake out of 2. They'll set up for the double right-handers. Turns 3 and 4 before they get shot out towards that quick right-left chicane that leads you on to Holman Boulevard. There's the field as they exit turn number 4. Now they'll set up for the the left right-handers, 5 and 6. Noacre wants to get in the middle of this one. It's been Lamb, Carter, and Roland for so long. Robert Noacre says, let me join the fun, guys. They dive down to the inside. Drivers left as they head for the left-handed. Turn number 7. Lamb to the inside. Roland to the outside. Lamb is going to get the top spot. Can he bring Noacre with him? No. And remember, it bends back to the right here in turn number 8. So Noacre's able to keep Carter behind him. Celine slots into 2nd. And Todd Lamb will lead the way coming out of the infield. And plenty can happen before they get back to the starter stand. But when they do, the white flag will wave, and Robert Noacre has plans to spoil Celine Roland's day, because if Roland and Noacre start battling just as Noacre goes to the inside in turn 12, Noacre is there. Can he get the pass? Yes, he does. Noacre to P2. Now the question is, can Noacre, Roland, and Carter work together as the white flag will fly high above the yard of bricks? 1 lap remaining. Can they reel in Todd Lamb, or will the 50-year-old spoil the party here in Indianapolis and score his first win of the season and his first win in at least the last 4 years? We'll see as the white flag waves. If they continue to battle, Todd Lamb is going to check out. Michael Carter now brings the fight to the inside for second position on Noacre. Carter is there. He got a nose ahead, but the track bends back to the left. Noacre's advantage. He'll hold on to second. Todd Lamb's loving it as Carter makes it like a Luke Bryan song and kicks the dust up in turn number 2. Carter, Noacre, Celine Roland, side by side, flat tracking it here on the Grand Prix circuit, just trying to figure out who will finish second, and they are giving it to Todd Lamb right now as the 50-year-old owner of Atlanta Speedworks has at least a 3-car length advantage over the rest of the field. They come down Holman Boulevard underneath the pedestrian bridge. Now, Noacre to the inside in turn number 7. Noacre is there. They're side by side. Nobody wants to give an inch here on the Grand Prix circuit, but Noacre wrestles second spot away from Michael Carter. I hate to say it, I don't want to call the race before it's over. Oh, little hip check. How about some bump and grind between Michael Carter and Celine Roland as Carter feeds Celine Roland the left rear quarter panel. Todd Lamb has only 3 corners left to go. Robert Noacre in second, Michael Carter in third, and Roland goes from leading this thing with 3 laps to go to watching the podium down at ground level. Todd Lamb into 13. Todd Lamb out of 14. The Atlanta Speedworks, number 84, is going to do it. Here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Todd Lamb is going to win round number 4 of the Battery MX5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich. At the line, Lamb's your winner here today in Indianapolis. Robert Noacre holds off Michael Carter for second. Carter rounds out your podium, and Celine Roland is going to watch the podium celebration after finishing second, being scored the win earlier today. But he'll watch the podium, unfortunately. Nico Rieger finishes 5th. Peter Enzer comes home in the 6th position. Luke Ochsner finishes 7th in the 77. Matt Dirks for White Racing comes home 8th. Alex Bashir in 9th. And John Cheesebray completes the top 10 here in round 4. And just like that, we are done in Indianapolis, Indiana. Say it ain't so. Another weekend of MX5 Cup racing is in the books. And are you not entertained? Goodness. So it sounds like Nico Rieger being given the Battery Tender Hard Charger Award. I apologize. Luke Ochsner in the number 77 for White Racing being credited with the Battery Tender Hard Charger Award as Ochsner brings the number 77 home in 7th place after starting the race. Where did Luke? Wow, 17th. So a net gain of 10 positions for Ochsner. That is plenty good enough to get him the Hard Charger Award here in round number 4. But again, what a race. That one lived up to the more typical expectations of Battery Tender MX5 Cup racing as Todd Lamb outlasts the youngins here in Speedway, Indiana for the victory here in round number 4. Robert Noacre finishes in 2nd. Michael Carter in 3rd. Roland 4th. Nico Rieger 5th. But once again, it's Todd Lamb scoring the victory here at the world's greatest race course, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Folks, that will do it. We're going to head to Victory Lane to celebrate with Michael Carter, Robert Noacre, and Todd Lamb. I have no idea when our next race is, but we hope that you will join us, and we hope that you can tune in somehow, some way. For everyone at MX5 Cup Racing, I'm Tony Laporta. Thanks for watching. We'll see you down the road.